know that
Who are you asking this question to?
all of you.
No, all of us can't answer.
Okay, particularly to Lekha ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. We know that today in the political elections, everyone is little bit or more corrupted. And we know we are having some few rules about the elections like a 49-0. We can abandon the political person who is standing for a particular party. We can't vote for everyone. So we can reject all of them. They should not fight the same election again and again because we see the same face same year, again next year and so on. The same persons fighting elections for 3 or more times and we know that they are corrupted. What to do for them?
One very interesting thing which most national political parties have done is put their website, and which is open for comment. So in case you have issues with some particular candidate in your area, I think you need to be proactive. From your email, send an email to the party heads and you'll see the changes happening. So get more proactive is the answer. And no central leadership would want a corrupt person to get the ticket. When they know they are likely to lose that election, they'll probably hunt for a better candidate in that constituency and give the ticket to a better person. So get more proactive.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Now let me cover a couple of questions, even as you can ask a few questions a little later. These have all come from the audience. There are a couple of questions. Why is there so much angst in people, and why do we see an outpouring now, and do you think it'll last? The second question is it possible to have credible results with an apolitical approach?
I think we all have, the first part, why is there so much angst and why it's come out now. I think the second part is the angst is there. We have a lot of emotions that are, this is not really referring to politics, but in general, in people we all carry a lot of emotions amongst ourselves. Some are very active and some are very passive. Some are, it has affected our subconscious, but it has not really come out in conscious form. And these are emotions that are there in us. Religious beliefs, for example. You may not think about God all the time, but if someone does a very nice bhajan evening or something, you may feel very moved by it. Because it's not like, So similarly, human beings like truth and justice. This is not something I am saying. Studies have been done. US universities do studies like this. Human beings like truth, justice, equality. These are human traits. And, while in a society which doesn't have them, people may learn to live with it. People may learn to pay that bribe to the doctor or whatever, and there's frankly helplessness. You can't, that's the survival means. It's not even a question of choice. You have to do it if you want to survive in a civilized manner. You can learn to live with it, but somewhere down the line your soul is getting corroded. Somewhere down the line something is getting hurt, which you are not realizing it. You're just living your life, it's okay, But one day when someone really inspiring comes along and says that I'm choosing to have a life which is only about truth, equality and justice, otherwise I will die. Otherwise I will not eat and I will just die. That suddenly flicks something very natural in us. That, hey, I'm human and I like fairness. I don't like it, when things are like, let's say a very big man starts hitting a really small child for no reason on the road. You'll feel really bad. And why is that? Because it's injustice, something wrong is happening. So when this person comes and says, I don't care, for me that feeling is important and I'm going to live on that, then suddenly that feeling comes up in a lot of people. And of course with media and internet these days, it's very fast also. It can happen even without that. It happened in Mahatma Gandhi's time. So I think from there it came. And it just Anna did it in a very correct way, that he, from his movement's point of view, you may differ with various things. I'm not saying he's correct all the time. I find some of the things are all over the place. But the way he did it was very effective, that he asked for something specific. He wanted a bill to be passed that has been stuck for 40 years. Now that's almost a reasonable request. Plus he targeted feelings that are there in all of us, and it's, so I think that's how it happened. And it doesn't happen every day. It can't be done every day by people on a routine basis. You really need to be very in tune with what people are thinking, and I think it's in what they may not be thinking all the time, but it's in their hearts. So I think that's why it happened like this. It can happen again. For example, our education system is quite a mess. You guys are still lucky you're in a good college, but if you look at the moment you get into the top 10% students, below that it gets very difficult to get even a decent college. I am sure someone can stir it up and get things fixed. I am 100% sure. It will happen also, because nobody seems to be doing anything. But it's not something people discuss every day. They watch movies, they go think, but it's there in our hearts that something is wrong. And that's why movies like Three Idiots or books like 5.1 also worked, because it tapped into something which we didn't know is in us. So it's very interesting. I'm just talking from a pure sociology point of view.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can we have some questions from the students?
Good evening. My question is for Kiran ma'am. A lot of us have a lot of changes.
Get your mic closer to you.
We all want to bring about a lot of changes. Now my question is, to bring about a change, is it necessary that we have to be a part of politics or a political party or hold a post? Because there was this bill in which the MP's salary was to be increased, passed in 8 minutes flat.
Right.
Lokpal bill being going on since 5 months.
Actually,
Still-
42 years.
So we don't come out with anything constructive yet. So to bring about a change, do we have to be a part of politics and hold some position there, or being outside, there's no way out to bring a change?
I think firstly you need to be very aware of what are the basic tenets of different political parties. And what I can speak for the BJP, and the BJP says there's appeasement for upliftment for all, appeasement for none, a uniform civil code. Both these things are very important to me, because they mean that there should be one law governing every citizen in India, regardless of area, region or religion. It also means that reservations shouldn't be given randomly, because of, now you see it's the amount of sects that keep coming up demanding more and more reservations. Most colleges now have 60% reservations for some person or the other, some sect or some class, and even if those seats are not filled, the other people can't fill those. So I think that was very important to me as a person. Because according to me, India only has two classes, the haves and the have-nots. And I think a large part of the middle class also comes in the have-nots, because they do not have the kind of money to pay for the medical seats and if somebody wants to become something, to get the basic training for that. And I think there should be reservation up to a certain point and not beyond that. So coming to your question, that do you have to be a part of that change? If you want to, if you are the more you get involved, and the more you learn about it, the more you see debates on television, the more you read columns in newspapers, you realize this channel is tilted towards this. You even realize that this newspaper is tilted toward this. All these things when you realize, and there is some awakening, some kind of an understanding in your mind, then it depends on you whether you want to be a part of the larger change and want to take part in political life. And do you want to step that way? Or do you want to be a strong voice that votes for whom you think is going to be a part of that change that you would like? And you know that these are the people who think like this, so these are the people who will give me this in my country. And you need to give them that chance and go out and vote. And make sure other people do too. Make sure that you discuss it when you are with friends. Make sure that you have animated discussions. Never mind if be free to ask even uncomfortable questions. One should be able to answer them.
You know, not just polite questions. If anybody has uncomfortable questions, we are here to answer them also. Same should be with people like you. So it's, if you're interested in going into mainstream politics, you can. But at the same time, you can also be a part of political change within the country by pursuing whichever profession you want to. But being active, being alive to what's happening, participating in it. And then later on, who knows, you might get take a larger role or maybe not. That's your choice, I feel.
I would actually like to add 2 lines to it. I would really recommend you to not fear. Be fearless. And secondly, you can be apolitical. There's nothing wrong in it, but be aware. As she mentioned, you need to be aware about your surroundings. Read the newspaper. Know, I have 3 cousins living with me, and only one of them follows news, daily news. The other 2 are really zapped. They don't know anything about the current affairs. So it is very important for you. For me personally, after I was in limelight, I was in media because of the Jessica Lal and the Priyadarshini Mattu case. 2 prominent political parties came in to me and they invited me up. Hamare saath kyun nahi join karte? I said, probably politics isn't my cup of tea. But probably you can be apolitical, you can sit outside the political circus and still make a larger change. Thank you.
I want to know, you do go and vote, na?
Do
you go and vote?
I want to vote. I don't have an election card.
If you did, would you vote?
I would certainly. Why not?
So that means he is political.
Yeah.
Because he would vote for one party or the other.
Everybody in India is political. It's just a mindset.
And anywhere in the world where there is democracy. Or even when there isn't, they're fighting for it. So...